and it's another day. Right, I'd just like to first off apologise for the lack of updates. It did get a bit repetitive, so I don't want to, I didn't want to really keep you guys coming back and forth to the primer and sanding stage. It got really boring. Good news is the bay has finally been sprayed and the paint is currently curing. Check out my Instagram here to see a few pictures of the bay. But now I'm just going to show you what I've been getting on with in the meantime. So for those of you that have ever done an engine swap or taken stuff out of a car, or worked on a Honda mainly, you'll understand how much of a pain in the bum it is to actually remove the brake master servo, or the brake servo, if you want to call it a brake servo as normal. All I've done here is give it a quick clean up, painted it with Hammerite black out of the can, and it's actually really glossy. I don't know if you'll be able to see the slight bits of crap that are falling into the paint. Hopefully I can buff them out. Yeah, so next step, put the master cylinder back on, get that put away, and that's done. I've also sprayed the tow eye brackets for the front. They're the bolts to go with them, and that will be it. So yeah, just going to quickly crack on pulling the tape off the paint, paint off of the servo, and put the master cylinder on and put that away. Cool, so that's all done. Nice and on there. Oh, the broom has fallen over. For fuck's sake. Yeah, so there it is, nice and shiny. With literally a host of other car parts. Scrap metal bin. There's 2 throttle bodies in there. Yay. Right, crack on. So I bought these turbo studs. Hopefully, they're I know they're correct size. They're M10 for the new turbo manifold that I've got. Yes, I did say new. Excuse the mess, but I have got myself an SPA top mount manifold. You do have to be careful with these because you run a larger. If you run a turbo that's too large, you risk the turbo compressor housing fouling with the front rad support. Yeah, that's how it sits. Obviously I've got some bolts in there just to hold it in because I needed to test fit and rotate the core, because obviously it was upside down the other time because of the bottom feed turbo manifold. So yeah, now I'm going to take this off and put the studs in. Cool, so turbo stud, WD-40 there, just to show you that these are the size of the bolts that I was using. So considerable difference, but hopefully they'll be a lot more secure because obviously there's a lot more thread inside the manifold, and then there's a lot more thread to push down, or sorry, there's a greater force for the nut to wind down and push the turbo housing. So yeah, cool. Wicked. So the studs are on, nut and washer. I don't know if that's actually the correct setup on a turbo, but I'll just assume the washer will press down and put equal force. Slight issue, I did have to use the tap to just clean the threads out. I think this is used, I haven't bought this new, but it's where it's cast iron, it's probably not even truly straight, so clean the threads up just so that they all align. There was a slight issue with this corner. I think the compression housing, again where it's quite an old turbo, I'm hoping that once they heat back up it kind of all sets straight. It was a little bit up, like literally just the tip of a screwdriver could fit in there, but that was about it. But now that I've clamped it all down, it's all nice and sealed. This will be coming back off again, the turbo, so I can fit the return down to there, so it'll be straight down. And once obviously that's done, the turbo unit is practically complete aside from downpipe and air filter. We've obviously got the existing oil line for here, but that will be routed for future. Yeah, so it's slowly shaping up. Wastegate is probably what you guys are wondering. The wastegate actually situates down here, and wastegate hangs upside down. I'll probably give you a closer look closer to the time of install on this. So my next job is to inspect the front hub. So I've got one here, one down there, so I won't bother obviously repeating. These ones come from the wreckers or breakers, whatever you want to call them, because they take the bigger 262 disc. My one is the poverty specs, it's only a 242, so the hub knuckle is slightly lower down. So the reason for this is because I'm going to put 282, so even bigger discs than stock for these. But my original plan was to replace the wheel bearings and the ball joints. However, you know, I'm kind of now thinking, is it a worthwhile cost? Might as well just do it when you need to. So plan is just to inspect these, make sure, you know, nothing's too bad on them, and then I won't do it tonight because of the noise, but I'll grind all this back, or wire wheel it clean, cover up obviously here, and then paint it all with the Hammerite. Here we go. So that's the ball joint, obviously wheel bearing ball joint. So the wreckers, I don't know how close you're going to see that, they have mashed it a little bit, so I'll probably get the centre punch in there and just reshape it in so that I can fit another cotter pin in. I have got a full polybush kit, so it'll replace this rubber seal that holds all the grease in. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a circlip there and there is another circlip there. It is kind of mashed potatoed in there. Phew, damn. Right, so I did lie a little bit, and as you can guess by the gas mask, the face mask, I have been up to some more activities. So the turbo studs are on, as we saw. The wheel bearing was absolutely fine. There's a little bit of play, but that's to be expected. I suspect they're still the original bearings, so they could be, you know, anywhere from 15 to 20 years old, but they're still good. So I'll quickly show you what I've done. As you can see, everywhere has been covered in plastic. I learnt my lesson the first time, and I actually did clean the hub up. I busted out the power drill with wire brush attachment and cleaned it all up, so that's now got a nice coat of gloss black. Again, I don't know how well that's going to come out on camera, but you know, I've obviously taped up all the relevant places, so I'll leave that overnight. I mean, under there, I'll quickly hold the mask, under here on this side we'll need a quick touch up because obviously it's leaning against the plastic. Other than that, that's fine. So hopefully overnight that will dry and I'll crack on with the other one tomorrow. So there's no point going over this and showing you guys the process again, you know, for the other hub. So what I'll more than likely do is, try to get some light on myself, is end the episode here, and the next time you guys will see me, I'll probably be messing around with something else, hopefully stripping. Well, there's a lot of stuff to do, so yeah, thank you again for tuning in, guys, and I'll see you next time.